I've seen.
as a 5 seed. So I guess I do have the Packers ahead of them. Um, I feel pretty similar about LaFleur in the playoffs. Like I feel like he's saving stuff. He's getting cute this season, and I hate what he's doing because it's costing them games. And he's blowing. He's part of the he's part of the problem for them. But I
I
have
think
faith
Jordan
they'll
Love's the
figure it out.
problem. If you watch the game Monday, you'd see Jordan Love was a huge problem for Green Bay. I mean, they would have never been in that situation to kick that field goal if he didn't fumble before the halftime.
That was a
He
problem.
fumbled like, yeah,
That
like
was.
come
But
on.
I mean, other than that, though, I think the rest of the game, like,
He missed. They highlighted every missed throw. I feel like every drive he's missing wide open receivers, and that's killing drives for
well, I
them.
don't want to just say like it's.
I like
I don't want to just say
like
like it's windy, but like it was, and Dobbs was
their own
gone,
game.
and that's the guy he typically actually has chemistry with. We have all these great talents come through the Packers wide receiver room, and every year it ends up being Romeo Dobbs who gets the most targets because he's the guy who's always in the right spot. And so you mix that on a windy day against this Eagles defense, like I'm not really too surprised once I heard what the weather was like that the score was what I mean, don't get me wrong, like it was a pretty damn low scoring game. I did not really see that coming, but I
Yeah, I
thought
didn't see that
I
coming.
thought the under had potential.
Dallas dropped 40 on that defense. Just want to throw that out there.
It's all good, bro. You guys were in the dome in Jerry's world, like. You know what I mean? I would love to play in a field that, even though what's funny is that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, who can't stand the Eagles, was like, yeah, it just really sucks during this time of year because of how slippery Lambeau is. And everybody was busting their ass in the middle of the game. Like, so it's like from what's it called?
Conditions.
Conditions, thank you. To temperature and weather conditions to absolutely like piss poor decisions. Like overall, it was a horrendous game. There was just overall both sides, which is where to me, like in this game overall, I'll just say this right now. It's like I don't feel like anybody really won this game. Yeah, the Eagles won, but it was like there were so many things miscalled, miscued, and horrible decisions in the game throughout. One which was what's it called? Saquon almost ready to break out for a run, but then Michael Parsons decides to trip him, and the refs
Yeah.
don't have any freaking sight line of that whole gappage. Like, but hey, that's me. What's it called? Yes, there was some holding that I saw um, from Campbell when he collided with Romeo Dobbs going on the 5 and in. I saw what's it called when Smitty was going down the field and what's his face McKinney collided with him before the ball even freaking got like it's like seeing all these things that happen, and then also too when you call a timeout before the kick can go off, and they still tried the field goal kick afterwards. That's like never been allowed. That's like
Well, if you do it
football
like right
101.
away, but like the ref was the
Yeah, but they
announcer
said they literally
said
said they called the timeout before the snap went off.
I was listening to the announcers say this, and I was like, I did not see Brandon McManus wind up the kick as soon as they blew that whistle. I agree. I did not. But it seemed like what happened was at least, this is what the announcer said is like the ref is supposed to like get in there and stop it. And I guess he didn't like run in front of the kicker and do like his like
Yeah.
he didn't stop him, and the announcer said Brandon McManus took advantage of it. I mean, can you really be upset that like he didn't get a chance to kick it though? I mean, on a day like that, I
No,
have no
I
faith he was gonna make
understand.
it.
I'm just saying, if Jake Elliott decided to do that, he would be burnt by every single NFL fan in the league because they would definitely send him to the shadow realm. That's what I'm getting at. Is like because Brandon McManus did it, and they were just like the Eagles could get upset. I'm just saying, I have no problem if you want to take advantage of it, but it's like, for example, when the Eagles right get accused of a false start on a tush
I knew
push,
this was
right?
coming.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, we're here, baby.
Yeah,
And then the
Yeah,
Packers do it this game. I'm sorry.
I got a response for you on this one because you're
Hold on, guys.
right,
Hold on.
you're right, but
Yeah. Hold on.
it's. Go ahead, Joey.
Before we jump to this topic, I just wanted to ask you guys: do you know who holds the record for the longest field goal for Green Bay?
Is it
Mason Crosby.
Mason Crosby?
Nope. It's Lucas. I don't know how to say his name. Lucas Havrisk. He was like a guy they signed to replace Brandon McManus, and he kicked a 61-yard field goal that he made. Last night, they were saying Brandon McManus is still not healthy. They weren't confident in kicking. Like they didn't give him another chance. Like, you know what I mean? They had no confidence in him, and they had this guy who was inactive for that game. So they went into that game knowing McManus was compromised with this another kicker that they just didn't use. He would have hit that. It was at 59. Could have had a chance for everything.
Probably had a better leg.
Yeah.
The kick was at 64 yards. What are you talking about?
64.
Still, I would rather have seen this.
The other guy hit a 61 though.
Yeah, but he said, but they said McManus hit a 61 too.
Yeah, no, McManus.
But he was
compromised.
He was compromised.
He's just old. He was hurt.
Well, he was hurt. That's why this guy was signed. Like he missed a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And
he's coming back playing in this game and he's still hurt. Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
I get that.
All fixable issues for the Green Bay Packers, but
similar to the Giants, what they have going on kicker.
The Packers special teams is their biggest problem. It's true. It definitely.
Jordan Love's one of the biggest problems there too. Like you guys haven't really talked about how he's missing all these wide open receivers.
I said his accuracy has always been his main issue. But I want to get back to this. I want to say something about this particularly because yes, both teams did the jump off sides, false start on the tush push. I think it's not that I'm going to come away from this game and say the Eagles won because you're right. The Packers also, it was just almost like a burn the tape type of game just to like, unless it's windy in the playoffs when you guys verse each other, like it's not going to be like that again. It'll be like normal.
Because to me, it was just all ugly. Like everything, nothing came out of this being like, this was good football.
I agree with that. And that's why I kind of kept everyone in the same spot. But for me, I think the reason people are upset, because this is why I am upset, is as soon as I started seeing this, first of all, I was upset that this is the first time I'm seeing this, and the Eagles have been running this play for 3 years. And you're telling me that there's potential that for the past 3 years, the Eagles have false started on every tush push from the regular season to the playoffs. Now, we might never know. We might need to get someone to look into this, and I'm sure there's someone who wants to, and we will find out. But if it comes out that the Eagles false started on, say, let's just say it was 50% of their tush pushes, I think from what we're seeing now, it looks like it's more like 75% of them. It's
different line now.
Yeah, but it's like maybe Kelsey was doing it a different way. I don't know, but
I was saying to me, I said Kelsey for the year.
But like we feel like, but until we look back, like we don't.
You
could
say this is worse than the Houston Astros trash banging thing.
I think that's worse,
in 2017.
I think that's much worse.
This is worse than the Astros situation. What the Eagles are doing, they should be.
Okay, that is
on the NFL. That
is a horrible take, but sure.
But it is true though that I think the idea of this play being like this for 3 years infuriates people, and it infuriates me because it's already ugly. It's already on a short leash. It's not the good old fade route. People don't like seeing it. It's just
no
a fact, and the NFL cares about that. And if they find out that either the officials can't officiate it right or you guys can't manage to do it without running false starts, it's just going to get ugly. And it's not ever going to go away. And your team's success has honestly been mostly from that. That is your guys' fourth down element. So I would just not say much about it if I was an Eagles fan, personally. I just wouldn't want to talk about it. I wouldn't want to talk about it much because I see where this is going. I don't see this going away, especially after what we're seeing this year. That's kind of my take. I agree. It wasn't like a deciding factor in this game. Both teams did it. But, like, I'm just, like, from the scope of the issue, you understand, like, I think that's why people are upset.
So, this is what I'm going to say from my point. It's like, if this play ever does get canceled in the future or whatever the case is.
It's canceled.
Right, gets completely canceled, destroyed, sent to the nether realm, absolutely freaking blown up.
Yeah.
If this happens, as an Eagles fan, I can't lie to you, I low-key would be proud. And hear me out. Imagine running something so good, the entire league is like, we can't have you do that shit. Because
it's house money. You got house money.
Everybody has tried it. Everybody. They showed it on ESPN about every team that has tried it, the amount of times they've done it. Of course, the Eagles are like the highest because we've done it. We ran it freaking 4 times in a row against the Giants the one time I remember. And it's like,
Everyone loved that drive.
That really showed us.
We haven't even talked about Brian Daboll yet, though.
and it's like, we'll get there. We'll get there. And what's it called? So it's like, to me, it's like, imagine you're doing so good, and it's just because, like you said, new line, new guys, whatever the case was. Like Becton was not jumping like Steen does. You know what I'm saying? Like
I have a question.
Kelsey was in that 4-point stance, and people thought it was Dickerson's hand at the time, but it was like, as a center, yes, you can get in a 4-point stance. Since when could you not? So it's like all these things that people are trying to find little nuances to pick at, to be like, this is the problem, this is the problem, this is the problem. And now,
I think
because
the false starting that was a problem. That's our biggest problem.
but I'm saying this has been a problem since the beginning. But back then, it was them saying Landon Dickerson's hands was in front of Jason Kelsey's. But Kelsey would go on his podcast and be like, no, that's literally my hand in a 4-point stance because I'm trying to get the right leverage. And then the next year, we get Mekhi Becton, and then we run the same play. It was a lot harder to stop at that point because you basically have a left tackle as your right guard with, what's it called, Juergens and Dickerson ran the same play. And now, because we're running a different line formation, we have dudes like Steen, who's inexperienced, who is jumping off sides. Yes, I will be the one to say, yes, he's doing that. But I'm saying for the years that
I don't like the way you framed that. I don't like the way you framed it as like it's a mistake.
Yeah, it is. Would you not say the other?
No, because on the replays, it's not just Steen. It's like 3 dudes.
The whole line's
going, but I think it's intentional. I think this is what I think. I think this is like a Bill Belichick situation, where he's getting every bit of meat off the bone of this play. He's saying we're gonna line up as close to the line of scrimmage as we can. We're going to line up as low as we can with our chins off the ground and our asses in the air. We're going to spear the ground with our foreheads, jumping as close to offsides as we can, as how it would be like explained, right? Like as instantaneously as you can. Most important thing is your get off on this play. I want you guys to drive as low as you can and do all these little things to get to win the battle of inches. And some of it's legal, and I think some of it is illegal, and then I think some of it, like the whole operation itself, I want to ask, like, this was my question before. Like, has everyone really tried this? Like the way that the Eagles do it? I spent time like looking at the Eagles tush pushes, the way I just described it. I don't see Josh Allen's Bills and his offensive line like burrowing down to the ground. I see them doing like a classic QB sneak and Josh Allen like jumping over. So like I kind of, you can disagree with me if you want. Like it's kind of like a gray area, but I feel like it is different the way the Eagles run it. Like the way they execute it, there's a reason they're the best because they do all these little things. And as long as all the things they do are legal, maybe they don't cancel the play and I'm okay with that. And then it should be normal to stop. But
because that was the other thing they brought up too, is the injuries that it came. But like the only person I genuinely saw injured was Chris Jones when they were massaging his neck in the Super Bowl because we ran the tush push. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like little excuse to me. It's like the false start thing is the only thing that I've seen that I'm like, that's a valid point. And Jason Kelsey brought up a good thing too. If you want to ban the play, you're basically saying you are not allowed to push a player from behind, because in reality, like that's what we see usually. It's like the initial smack, everyone's stuck for a second, and then you have Saquon, Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown gripping up Hurts, and he's pumping his legs, and they're all pushing from behind.
Just clip that part of what he said.
Yeah. Okay. So I know too much about this topic. I did a video on this. I love talking about it for this reason, because like I feel like the perception is that people don't want, or the perception is that I don't want. I mean, other people might look at it this way. This is how I look at it. I don't want to ban the whole pushing part. I think you should be able to push your own offensive player. What I think needs to be investigated is the offensive line and how they line up and what they do right after the play is snapped, because it's like, could be, we're going to describe this, it goes down in the book as a block is what they're doing. It's really not what they're doing, as I kind of described. They are causing a pile. They are driving, like I said, low to the ground. And if you're a defensive tackle, your options are stand up and lose every ligament in your knee, right? Try to jump over it, which you're not going to do. You're just going to get flipped because a 300-pound man is. So you have to at least meet him level, which is impossible unless you line up with your head 3 inches off the ground. It's not really 3 inches, but you know what I mean. As low as a professional
like you're basically smelling the dirt.
Right. And the first place the Eagles go is they don't try to go like under and up. They're going down. They are trying to build a bridge, a literal bridge of bodies. If you look at the bird's eye view of these touchdowns, the Eagles are building a bridge of bodies for Jalen Hurts to be pushed over, right? So he cannot be touched down if there are 3 offensive linemen minimum underneath him. And then that doesn't even take into account the other defensive players. And so that is a scrum. And I think the way that they line up, the only true way to stop it is to kind of get underneath the pile, make the pile be at the line of scrimmage, not where they push a yard or 2 ahead. Right? You need to make the pile be at the line of scrimmage, which means you got to stop them, which means you got to get to their legs. The only way you can do that is getting like literally on the ground and even sideways.
Match the way they're coming at you.
You can, but that doesn't even work because they have the 3 guys behind pushing him, and he has to get touched down. You know what I mean?
It's almost like you're gonna have to meet them. Like this is me, like just genuinely like looking at it from that perspective. It's like you're gonna have to like need a D lineman or a nose tackle meet Hurts in the middle of the scrum. And I'm talking about is like, for example, to me, right, the Packers formation, it almost looked like a straight up arrow at the center, like. And I'm talking about like it was one of those things where it was like the moment that ball was snapped, they all put all their force at the center and the 2 guards, and Hurts was just able to roll out to the left to be able to get like 4, 5, 6 yards instead of the normal like 1, 2 yards.
Yeah, I always wondered why they don't have like a package of plays that like go off fake tush pushes, but I don't even want to give someone the idea. Well, like I feel like we never see it. Like 99% of the time, it's a tush push.
Part of the issue is that the Eagles can run trick plays out of this. It's no guarantee that even if you do match with the linemen where they are, that Hurts is even going to be there because if you can run in like a zone like outside of that, you know what I mean? It's no guarantee Hurts is going to be in the same spot. And I feel like the only way you can match them defensively is if you line up the same exact way with like a linebacker playing where Hurts would be, and then just like mirroring wherever the play's going.
But the thing usually will be right at it. Defensive players cannot wedge. They cannot wedge the way offensive
they can't wedge and
can. They can't wedge. I'm pretty sure it's considered if they're going into the same gap, it's a wedge. So, but the Eagles' offensive line, every offensive line can do this. Obviously, they're all collapsing to one gap. And my main kind of point was that the only way to really stop it is dangerous, is what Chris Jones tried to do. It was the right call by the staff, but he got hurt. Why? Because of 3 linemen spearing him in his side. There's no way you could take that. I didn't want to get that one out. But anyway, how crazy are we gonna get? We've cursed before, but that one, I'm like, I'm not gonna try with that one. But how far are we gonna go? When do we stop?
How far are we gonna go, Scott?
How far are we gonna go? Like 3 guys piled up on top of each other, like in the middle of the A gap, and then Jalen Hurts throws a pop pass. Like, it's just dangerous. Like, I feel like the defensive coaches know, we have to do something like this, but I'm not gonna risk my defensive tackle who gets $20 million. I
mean, the Vikings almost did.
They tried to do it, and I bet that dude backed out of it, or it did not work, or he got hurt. I bet it was one of those 3 things. I'm serious. So I'm saying, it appears to me the only solution the defense is legally allowed to do right now is dangerous. The offensive line, all the jumping offside stuff, it's like they should be able to clean that up. We'll see. It hasn't gotten cleaned up. I would expect that to get cleaned up the next week. They're taking their sweet time with that. And, the bridge thing really bothers me. I don't think that's an idea that was ever explored in the NFL. Like, are players allowed to build a bridge for offensive players to walk across, like Jesus Christ, and not be touched down? Like, maybe, but there's too much uncertain about it. There needs to be another investigation this offseason. Then they need to make some changes. So that's enough about Eagles Packers. I'd say there's still one more, unless if we did actually talk about them. There was one more matchup, and that was we've spent a lot of time talking about Patriots and Chiefs, but it's the same situation. I still got the Chiefs above the Patriots, guys. You guys both had the Patriots above the Chiefs. So all my points chime off the same reasoning I have for the Rams and McVay, just multiplied by whatever you think Mahomes and Reed are better with. And I think this is the best Chiefs team we've seen in 3 years. So, do you guys feel like it's a tier, and maybe it's like you can just kind of shift them around in that? I think we all have them top 4 or top 5 at least.
I think there's a clear top 3 in the NFL.
I think to me, it's like the consistency as this team goes on. It's like, it's not for me like fair nor logical. Like to me, it's like, while I could seriously glaze the Eagles, it's like I'm gonna go and like look at it unbiased and say like the Patriots have been consistent, dominant, playing smart football, well-rounded, supporting each other. It's like they're covering all the nuances that you need as a football team, and all they really need now is just experience and time. And it's like this is gonna be a scary ass team, and I'm gonna give them their flowers for now because they balling the fuck out. Like,
yeah, they scare me the most. Of all the new teams, they scare me the most.
Yeah, but you still believe in the Packers. So how could they scare you enough? Like,
my Packers.
How could they really ever scare you?
My Packers ranking is number 7. I didn't move them.
Yeah,
I deducted them a lot the week before.
I think there's a clear top 10, and I think obviously, but top 3. But I think if I was being unbiased, I'd probably put the Eagles where Danny has them at 7. Right under the Chiefs, Lions, Rams, Colts, Seattle, Patriots. That's probably where I should have them because I don't really care at all at this point for the Bills, Bucks, or Broncos.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the Broncos. I feel like they have a really fraudulent 8-game winning streak, and they keep trying to tell me in the comments that they're going all the way.
So real rap, do you think the moment Sean Payton leaves, Bo Nix is gonna be absolute dog water?
Bo Nix is carried. Yes.
I don't know if Sean Payton's going anywhere, but if he did leave, I think that would shake things up in a negative way.
Okay, that's a fair point. So then, for my most excited point, can we please talk about the